Okay, what we're going to do is go over our pack defence. It's a man-to-man defence. Pretty much we call it pack, so we pack the paint so there's no penetration, especially with the dribble into the paint. And any cutters, we bump them so that they don't feel comfortable in this area here. We have a pack line which is our 3-point line. This is the one we're drawing right now. That's our pack line reference, okay? So when we go into transition defense on the pack, we run straight back into our pack. We get inside the pack line, and we pick up our players from in here. Okay, so we don't leave any holes in transition. And so that's the first thing that we do. What we're going to do is we're going to go over stopping dribble penetration. When they initially see us, we want everybody to have their hands out, okay, their arms out. So what this does, it creates an impression that there are no gaps. And we're nice and big on the offense. So we're low and we're wide. So this area here seems a whole lot smaller. Okay, I like to the person that is the only person in our defense that is putting pressure on the ball is the person who is guarding the ball. Okay, so what happens is I like the one man to stay in front of the offense, but once the offense tries to drive, they channel that penetrator into the help defense. And if we try and stay in front of that the offense all the time, we don't get the advantage of a two-man wall. So when they penetrate, we just channel them into the help. Okay, that's the first thing we need to recognize. We want that person to go into the wall and then kick out. Okay, and then what we do is just recover. How we recover is we don't go straight out to the offense, because that leaves a little hole for them to drive to the hole. What we do is we step back and then we go out and close out short. Okay, so the ball is kicked out to the two in the offense. Our two men steps back and then goes out and closes out short. In our defense, we play low, so we giving the offense more opportunity to drive to the middle than to drive this way to the base. We don't allow them to drive to the base, so we stay a little lower. Okay, so and it's the same thing happens when there's penetration, dribble penetration into the lane. This number 2 channels the offense into that help person there, so we get the benefit of a two-man wall. And anyone here that can see any holes or any gaps, we need to just close them up. We don't need to go right in the middle of it. Just makes it a little small. If you think it's too big, just move towards it, and it just closes up that little gap and just gives the offense the impression that it's a lot tighter than it really is. Okay, so the ball's kicked back to the 1, reverse to the 3, another bit of dribble penetration, straight into the to the 1 man. Okay, once the ball is reversed, this is the weak side and this is the strong side. I'm sure you all know that because the ball's on that side. Okay, on the weak side, our defenders come into the paint to the split line. Okay, they have rules that you know, like one off the ball, you're in up the line and whatever, and and two passes off the ball you're sagging, and 3 passes off the ball you're in the split line. You just got to kind of read that. But I like it to come, like I call this the high T and this is the low T, and those are the reference points I look at, and it's just your judgment. So you just don't let anybody cut down the middle. That's basically it. Okay, so there's nothing there. It's kicked out to the one man. We just organise ourselves again. Okay, now we're just going to go on to stopping the cutting penetration. So what happens is 1 passes to 2. The first thing we do to the person trying to cut to the paint is bump the cutter. Okay, basically all it is just stepping in that person's line. Okay, and then you don't give them a shove, but when there is contact, you can sort of like give a jolt, and then they felt like they're hitting, ran into a little freight train. So you give them a bit of a bump there, just bump the cutter, and that's the first thing that that person experiences. Okay, as they go into the paint, what we do is we just shadow that person. We always got to maintain contact with the person that we're marking if they're in the paint. Okay, we got a bit of a hand on the small of their back, and we've got our other hand. We're just trying to wave it in front of them just to deny any passes. Okay, once they go out of the paint, we just resume a normal defensive position. Okay, number 3 cuts, little L cut, contact there, just to let them know that we're up to what they're doing. They cut to the top. Ball is sent to the post. 2-man cuts, another bump on the cut. Shadow them right through. In this cut here, when they're cutting from the angle, from the wing, what we want our defender to do is stay on the upside. Okay, so we're shadowing our defender through the paint, but we're on the upside. We sort of got contact with them, but we're really denying any pass into the paint from that kind of cut. Okay, they're out there. They go into their normal 2-3 setup, 2 and 3 out setup, and we get back into our help positions. It's important that these 2 players here don't go too far out to their players when they haven't got the ball, because what that does is it leaves a bigger channel for that number 3 to go down to. Okay, we don't want them to even think like there's any space. So when we get to that position, hands out, a lot of talking, a lot of yelling, so that they don't think that there's any gaps in our defense. Okay, now we're going to defend the post. So reverse it to the 2. With our defense, we get our if it's going to this side here, we get our 5-man to 3/4 deny high, the post. Okay, we deny them 3/4. We don't front the post. Just put a denial 3/4. They get, once the ball is passed in, the 5-man needs to rush behind. So they go from there, see the ball coming in, they get around to there. The 4-man comes across and stops any centre roll. And what happens is the guard guarding the person that pass it into the post, they drop down onto the post, and we really put a lot of pressure on the low post, especially if they're good. Okay, we put a lot of pressure, and like we said, the little uppercuts with the 2-man, just little upward jabs, just so that there's little taps on the hands and fingers of the post, and they don't feel comfortable, so they kick it out, and we just resume our normal position. Number 5, 3/4ing the post high. Okay, so the thing is, if they get a quick pass there, this person here might need to come out and stop that roll there. If the number 5 is too late, this person drops down there, and yeah, we pretty much just guard that paint. We've got a person at high and low tee. Okay, defending the high post. Okay, same thing. It's man to man, so the 5-man moves over. When it's high, we like to sort of like stay 3/4 low, and we get the number 3 or the person that's guarding the point up the top to drop down, help this person out. Okay, so they can feel 2 people on them. Okay, the same thing here. We got because there's 2 posts on the same tide, so you know, like just play them 3/4 high over there, and the number 2, well, they're marking there, and if they have to help to stop their person from rolling there, they need to get there too. So it's you know, like we can't organise everything, so a lot is played by ear. But when it goes into the high post, same thing. Anything that goes into the post, we've got 3 people putting full pressure on, 1 hacking away there with those little uppercuts and jabs, gets down to the post, the 5-man just slides down to there, so we've got 3 people on the post. The number 1 or the wing guard just comes in, little uppercuts there, and the number 3 drops behind the number 5, and the number 2 is pretty much guarding that area there. Just don't let that person back cut on you. Okay, that's pretty much it. Goes out, just resume our positions. Okay, that's our man-to-man pack defense. There are a lot more scenarios, but we'll work that as we go along. So girls, keep looking at the tapes and gaining more knowledge, and we'll be set for nationals when they come up.